portion of the program's powered by NCA, National Certified Alarms, no long-term contracts, license number 645. I see they're giving a press conference, Nancy Guthrie. Call 1-800-CALL-FBI if anybody out there has any tips. $50,000 reward. No suspect as of yet. $50K. There you go. And they want proof of life. That's what they want. Proof of life. You're not going to go give money over if you don't, if she's not alive. So got to have that proof of life. So it's getting weirder and weirder. And it seems like it's getting colder and colder when it comes to what's going on with that. NES, fantastic job, as you guys know. Not only did they not do a bang-up job, they had some issues, as we know, with their communication, which wasn't a strong suit, even when they were texting you.
You are among the NES customers who got a text during the outage telling you that your power was back on, when in reality it wasn't. Wait till you hear this. WSMV4 Investigates has uncovered just how much NES spent on the system to develop those incorrect texts.
Let's hear it.
$250 million, and it failed for a lot of people.
Wait. $250 million. Who comes up with this? Who does? We have Text Groove. It's like $20 a month, right? Who? For all the talk about fraud in like a lot of this stuff, can we just admit the government it's not their money. They don't care about it. And so they'll spend it as ever they want. And as you said, you better spend it or you lose it.
Didn't the Obamacare website that failed at the beginning cost $300 million?
Yeah. And
so we spent
$250 million, yeah.
Ridiculous.
They spent $300 million, and what they do, they went to like Squarespace or something. They couldn't even build that right.
Several times since the storm, you heard people tell WSMV4 Investigates about their frustration with those NES text alerts.
It's concerning that the alert system failed in that way.
And it says my power's on, and it's not. Up until then, hello?
We knew all that sounded kind of familiar.
You think?
I think the biggest issue was the lack of communication with us.
It's familiar because people have been telling us about their frustration with NES communication for 3 years now, during other power outages and rolling blackouts. It all started in January 2023, when NES went to this community meeting and told people they would be committing $250 million to provide push notifications about outages.
Push notifications about outages. $250 million. Now, I'm not going to blame the company that designed it because the way that they handled everything here on the ground, it may be more operator error than the actual the software.
A very good point.
Right? So before I go and blame them, but I do want to know, $250 million, what is there, 470,000 customers? Is that what we come up with, Ken, the other day?
Yeah, it's about 470,000.
Okay.
Just under 500,000.
That seems like a lot for push notifications. It's not like you're texting everybody emojis all day, right? You're not getting, let's send them gifts. No, it's none of that. So, $250.
We'll be providing that kind of upgrades coming soon onto our network.
Did you hear that? He said coming soon.
Coming soon onto our network.
But it wasn't soon. It wasn't until the December 2023 tornadoes that NES sent out text messages like these to around 22,000 of its 470,000 customers. The texts estimated when the power would be back on. But then, nothing else. In January 2024, WSMV4 Investigates asked for an update, and we got an email reading that NES was excited about their new tool, but they're refining its functionality. Here's NES Executive Vice President Brent Baker in 2024.
It's probably over the course of the next 12 months that we will have even more work done.
What's taking so long?
There are things that are impacted when you make a change at a company this size.
For those of you guys remember, he's the one who went to college with everybody.
What was the total number of customers?
470,000?
So roundabout, yep.
Yeah. 470,000. And you're trying to figure out how all of this is going to work because we had to go refine it. There's like several stock messages. When I start, I'll text Ken in them, and they'll text me. The minute I put something in there, it'll look and say, oh, do you want to send? Yeah, thank you so much. Or this. That's all you have to do. Well, it's not like you got to go quick. Alert everybody that there's a dinosaur coming. No, there's like 5 or 6 bad things that can happen.
So fast forward to this ice storm. 3 years after NES first announced they were spending $250 million on a push notification system. And it failed for a lot of people, including Nina Johnson. While she was shivering in her frozen home, she got a text from NES saying her outage case was closed.
They had closed it. It said your case has been closed, and it irritated me. I mean, my house is cold already, and I was irritated.
We reached out again to NES today. Obviously, if the cost was $250 million in 2023, what did it actually end up costing? They have yet to get a response to us, but we'll keep asking until we get an answer.
Our partner's over there at WSMV, and I like the fact that he brought up, oh yeah, that was 2023.
If they maintained a budget, which is a laughable question, that would have been just under $532 per household to implement that system.
Yeah.
Everybody's still trying to figure out the CEO's claims on funding for tree trimming, too, because it's completely opposite of what records show.
Well, that's what we call in the business a lie.
So we call it. You're right.
And they took down that press conference.
Oh, I bet.
Yeah.
Oh, they did?
Yeah, it apparently was up on a public platform, but they turned it private.
Yeah, that's
not
a smart
long
thing.
afterward.
And I bet even when it was up first, they're like, the guy's like, do you guys think we should leave comments in? I'm thinking no. What I want to find out is who's the company, who knows somebody that works for that company. Because once again, this is the incestuousness of business. And as we all know, somebody's got a cousin or an aunt or an uncle or a best friend, and he's like, I could help you out with that. Like you said, $532?
500, just under 592.
Man. You could have bought everybody burner phones and said, keep this with you during bad times of storm. You could have done that. And then just turn it on when things go south, and it'll alert you of everything you need. But instead, they're like, I got a great idea. And they probably charged you per text as well. God, that's unacceptable, guys. That is unacceptable. That right there is completely unacceptable. And like you said, from the tree trimming thing and that BS, and let's be real, that was a lot of BS, to the fact that, they have contradicted themselves on the union and did they or didn't they, and how the vendor and how many people they really had that started out here and why it's just they've not equated themselves. They're not even been bad at this. This is the kind of things where you're studying. All right, so we're going to watch how this plays out and see how this goes. And as we said last hour, I picked May 1st is when I believe that she is going to step down and take another job. And that'll be probably a month or so before the commission does their after action report.
I'm just going to be personally so disappointed and crestfallen if she doesn't actually get fired.
I know. So, $250 million. That is just insane. And you know what?
Could have bought generators for every household you serve.
You could have done that.
$532 a household.
Oh, so just it's not a good situation, and we'll be keeping an eye on everything. We moved from there to earlier today. There was it the national prayer meeting? Donald Trump still trying to figure out if he's getting into heaven, and at the national prayer meeting, let's see what he talked about.
Is an automatic no. No matter what, if
Thomas
we did
Massey.
Welfare reform, if we did the greatest thing in history for religion, no matter what we did, no matter how good it is, greatest tax cuts, and we just did the greatest tax cuts in history. He voted against. He voted. Now, no matter what we do, this moron, no matter what it is, we could put them all together. I think, Mike, what would you say the top 5 things? Name them We'll put them in one bill, and we'll put them before we'll get 100% vote, except for this guy named Thomas Massey. There's something wrong with him. We call him Rand Paul Jr. You know, it's like they just vote no. They love voting no. They think it's good politically. The guy's polling at about 9%. It's not good.
I don't know. I suppose he's not polling at 9%, and he's going to win again. And the amount of money that has been thrown in, first of all, by the Israeli lobby, has thrown a ton of money in. That's Mrs. Adelson there, as well as Trump, going up against him and throwing stuff out there. He's going to win. And we get a lot of you guys who text in from Kentucky and elsewhere and go, we love him here. He cares about, you know what? He cares about how bad we're in debt. I think we should all care about that because nobody else does. And every once in a while, you need to tell people no. Can I buy this? No. Are you sure? Yes, I'm sure. You can't do that. I love how it's at the prayer breakfast, and he's like, he's a moron. Just like Jesus would have said. Then he starts talking about ISIS. We blew the hell out of them. Just like Jesus. Oh, he did talk about getting into heaven. He goes, maybe. I don't know. You know him. He's very concerned about the heaven thing. He's very concerned about maybe.
I was just having fun. I really think I probably should make it. I mean, I'm not a perfect candidate, but I did a hell of a lot of good for perfect people. That's for sure.
So on a scale of 1 to 10, he's like a 5.5. That's what he feels. Like, I deserve to get in. Yeah. Oh, and the Thomas Massey stuff. Look, is Ken Thomas, like all politicians, but he doesn't like him because of the whole Epstein stuff. That really, he went after Thomas Massey's wife. Don't do that, right? Don't do that. And the no. Yeah, you know what? I like the fact that there are people that'll tell him no, especially when it comes to things that are going to add to our giant, mounting, huge, big turd that is our debt, which we're getting to the point where we're going to spend more on servicing the debt than just about anything else, which is incredible. So it's frustrating, but I just love that that he's a moron. He's just the worst. He's a moron. We'll put every great thing in there because he's a moron. Coming up on the exciting Chad Benson Show, talk a little bit about voting. No, we're not going to do national voting. That's no. Not going to do that. We'll talk a little bit about that. We've got a bunch of other good stuff on the way. Ken's, of course, always going to have your latest and greatest because he is Ken, the news wizard. Edward R. Murrow was also a reporter. And you're going to get one of those, Ken. I'm hoping. I'm praying. That's what I'm talking about. Ken knows. Knows.
If somebody wants to give it to me, that'd be great.
We'll steal one. Don't worry about that. It is the Chad Benson Show. Super Talk 997. Somebody sent us a text. They've got... So in front of the Opryland Hotel, there's a big sign that says, "We stand with Minnesota. No more ice." Oh. They're like, who paid for it? I'm like, Belkay. And
I considered it an investment.
Wonder what that cost.
Wait a minute, where's the sign located?
Right in front of Opryland Hotel.
So is it the hotel's marquee?
No, I think it's like an actual billboard out at not the marquee itself.
Oh, I wouldn't have any idea then.
I bet that costs a pretty penny. That ain't cheap. That ain't cheap at all. I don't know who paid for it. We'll do some sleuthing around and see. It's probably some, immigration group. It may be Democrat group. It may be, people from Minnesota. Maybe NES. I don't know. It's not NES, Chad. I know it isn't. This right here. So you guys know the Boy Scouts? You remember the Boy Scouts? Were you a Boy Scout?
I was a Cub Scout.
Cub Scouts.
Yeah.
I was a Cub Scout for a little bit.
It starts out, what? Does it start out? It starts out.
It's Cub Scout. Yeah.
Is it Weebelows or?
No, it's Cub Scouts, Weeblos, Boy Scouts, Eagle Scouts, then Criminal. No, I'm sorry. Scoutmaster, then Criminal.
Oh, Lord. Well, apparently they are The government is basically telling them that they need to get their act straight because they're too DEI and they got girls and stuff in there.
Chief Pentagon spokesperson Sean Parnell took to X this week, writing in part, "For more than a decade now, Scouting America's leadership has made decisions that run counter to the values of this administration and this Department of War, including an embrace of DEI and other social justice, gender fluid ideological stances. This is unacceptable." They, Scouting America, have firmly committed to a return to core principles, back to God and country immediately. We believe we can continue our partnership with Scouting America as long as the organization rapidly implements the common sense core value reforms. They are on the clock and we are watching. Now, it's not clear what, if anything, Scouting leadership might agree to, including whether they would return to being a boys-only organization. Right now, the Jamboree is still scheduled for July.
Adapt or die. The Boy Scouts they're dead. I mean, I hated it too. My mom what do they call it? A troop? A den?
She was a den mother?
She was a den mother. So my mom and my mom's best friend, Wilma, Billy, they were den mothers together. And I liked it when my mom did it because she let us do whatever we want, play sports, because my mom was very... Billy, on the other hand, she was always trying to make us get like badges, and we didn't really care. Like none of us wanted to be there. And that was the 80s. And now, Scouts is dead. Girl Scouts kicks its butt because they got the cookies. Like that's a big thing. If the Girl Scouts didn't have the cookies, I think they'd be up the creek. But they got the cookies. But this,
well, they weren't affected by the lawsuit, were they?
No, I don't think so. No,
separate organization entirely.
Yeah, separate, completely separate. And that was the other thing. Completely, I mean, they Catholic churched it somewhat. So you have all of that stuff going into it. They were virtually, I mean, I think they were bankrupt. They had to file for, was it Chapter 11 or 13 to protect themselves. They're not getting memberships. My son's mom worked for the Boy Scouts of America, and they have it out in California. They have like a surf one, which is all aquatic. And she's like, they just can't get. Nobody wants to do it anymore. And it was funny. Who did do it more than anything else? Because Jack was a Boy Scout for a year or two, and we went to one of those big convention things. It's mostly kids of parents who have immigrated here, and they see the Boy Scouts and Cub Scouts and stuff as part of Americana. But yeah, there was. I used to dread it. I dreaded going. I was like, oh God, there's a waste of a Tuesday night, and I'm like 9 or 10, and I knew it was. Now I couldn't even imagine. Like what it's like now. And you're not bringing in the numbers. And then, of course, you have the bad press and then everything else, and you don't have the cookies. You don't. So, but
Thin Mints can get you a lot of forgiveness.
Yeah, I can. They can. Not that much, but so did, I can't even remember how much money it ended up costing them.
I'll look it up, but if I remember correctly, it was like in $8 billion.
Yeah,
somewhere around there.
Just massive amount.
That's a lot of cookies.
That is a lot of cookies. What do they sell? Did they do? They do dough, right? Is that they do cookie dough?
I can't remember what we sold.
I think we sold candy bars. Whatever it was.
It seems like it was some sort of candy roll.
Yeah.
Like a nut roll or something like that.
Yeah,
Had
it was
nougat in the middle.
Yeah, and hey, kids, who doesn't like a nougat, right?
Oh, I was way off. They settled with an agreement that is believed to range between $2.46 billion and $2.7 billion.
That's still a lot of billions when you don't have any money.
Yeah.
Right? When you have no money, that's a lot of billions.
Billion.
Yeah, and you know what else I think they do, Ken? I think they do wrapping paper. Christmas wrapping paper. It's not really a big racket either. Hey, you could go to the dollar store and get like 40 of these for, or you can buy this for $70. Oh, goodness. Popcorn. They sell popcorn. That's right.
Popcorn. Yes.
Oh, popcorn. So, look, they have to adapt or die, and that's why they started thinking, we're just going to be Scouts. We're just bring girls and allow them to have. It's because a lot of times, too, you had moms and they had kids, right? And they'd bring their little daughter. And so, might as well have them there doing something. All right, coming up, talk a little immigration. Got the latest from Ken on what's going on out there with Savannah Guthrie. They just held a press conference. $50,000 reward if you have any information. Any info whatsoever. $50,000 reward. Plus, we got a lot of other fun stuff as well. This is the Chad Benson Show. Sip and Talk 99.7. It's a portion of the program brought to you by NCA, National Certified Alarms. No long-term contracts. License number 645. Covenant shooting, man. They're still going back and forth to court on that. That is, they're like, you don't need to have it forever. Put it out there. Well, we're going to have to redact everything. It's going to be like the redact. If it's anything like the redacting from the Epstein files, who's working at the Department of Justice? There were naked pictures. There were bad videos. There were names of victims that hadn't been named as far as it had come out like a lot of the other victims had. But anybody who potentially was guilty of something, their names weren't there. That is, what a farce. What a farce. What an absolute joke. It really is just a joke. And I love the Prince Andrew stuff is still just mind-blowing. Do you think that the reason that his brother can't stand him is because he said to Epstein, "You're the brother I always wish I had." Oh, I'll show him.
Charles is mommy's favorite.
Yeah.
Or was.
Yeah. Charles was mommy's. Well, no. Charles was being the eldest, and I saw it with William and Harry. It's a different thing when you're the eldest. You've got to take over everything. You have to, because there's nothing expected of anyone underneath. There isn't. Like Harry went from, he's never going to be king, ever could have been king, because once William had kids, those kids they jumped him. So that's important. But the baby is Edward, which people don't really talk much about, but it was always, Andrew was like mommy's, she took care of him because she knew he was an idiot. She's probably thinking, you're inbred.
And apparently a pedophile.
Yeah. Why did you go to the island? Because that's where the young girls were. Duh. And they're still trying to force him to come over and testify. And his brother's like, you should totally take him. He's the worst. Get him out of my garage. Oh, and think, Fergie is couch surfing right now. That's how bad it got for her. She's couch surfing. That is...
I thought she passed away.
No, Fergie's alive.
Oh.
No, she's alive. Fergie's alive. But the whole thing with them is just such a mess. And people are going to still ask questions about it. And all this did was give people more questions than answers and then tell everybody, this is all you're going to get. So just deal with it. Just deal with it. I want to take a little turn here, guys. Dating. You guys know about dating. You've heard about dating. Dating's a big deal because we're not doing what? First of all, we're producing robots that we're going to fall in love with. Secondly, we're not having children, which is a big deal because we don't date. And one of the big things that dating, especially when I watch a lot of these women talk about dating, it's height. Like height is the thing that matters in a lot of way. And I thought this is hilarious. This is, and we've talked about it here, right? Like those guys who go get their legs broken so they can extend them 3 or 4 inches so they can, get to 6 foot because it gives them confidence and stuff.
There was an article saying height has become the big boobs of our generation for men. And that is, men are disproportionately evaluated for some reason on their height. And I think it's because it's an objective metric that people, the whole, I want someone to make 6 figures and is 6 feet. That's 2% of the male population.
Wow.
If you take out men that are married, divorced men, obese men, and men under the age of 50, it's like 2% of the population.
It's 8 people. And so that's 2% of the population. That's it. 2% of the population. And it's not getting any better because men are trying to figure out what to do. And this is a dating coach who's talking about how bad it is, the height preference thing.
Height preferences are killing modern dating. I know this sounds dramatic, but I want to talk about why this conversation is happening everywhere, how it's actually limiting people more than they realize. If you watch the Golden Globes, you probably have heard people talking about Elle Fanning, who is clearly much taller than her boyfriend, and how shocked people seemed. And that reaction alone tells us how deeply ingrained height expectations are when it comes to dating. I hear women say this all the time. Pat, I can't help it. I'm attracted to what I'm attracted to. It usually sounds like I want a man taller than me. I want to feel smaller than him. I want to wear heels and I still want to feel feminine. Listen, preferences are valid.
There's nothing wrong with that. I get it, but it's the unrealistic expectations. And I watched that podcast, everyone. I think it's called Whatever, where that guy brings, the women on and they just make the most ridiculous. I want a guy that makes at least, she's like 380. She goes, right? She's a sandwich away from my 600-pound life. And she goes, I would like 6'2". You got to make at least $17 million a week. It's insane. But they all mention height outside of money.
We need to also talk about context and reality. This is the question that I always ask when women come into my office and they have this height preference. I ask this very gently. How often are you really wearing heels around somebody that you're in a relationship with? Because most relationships are in sneakers and flats, bare feet, and sweatpants and Target runs. They're not on the red carpet. Here's what I think.
Yeah, they're not on the red carpet. And here's the other thing. A guy can add inches, if you will, in their height with some confidence. Like Ken and I, we got all kinds of confidence. Why? Because we're funny. And I tell guys that all the time.
Well, and I may not look it, but I am 5'5.5" tall.
Short king.
Hey, I'm funny and tall.
Settle down. The Ken and I, Ken's joking about it, but Ken right there is a perfect example of somebody whose personality wins over. You want to know why Pete Davidson got all the chicks? They all said the same thing. He listened and made us laugh.
It was funny.
He's funny.
Funny dudes get pretty girls, man.
Funny dudes get pretty girls. You will win over and over. There's a reason. It's not just because, comics, well, they're rich and famous. There's a reason. Go back and look at all of these comics and their wives, even before they were famous. Why? Because they were funny. Funny will get you a lot. But now what they're doing is the preferences are so ridiculous. And that is driving, besides the progressive wackiness of a lot of young women, it's making it so it's near impossible.
Online dating has made height a front and center trait. You can filter things by age, education, whether or not they have children, location, and height. In some cases, on some apps, you can pay more so that you can filter more to be able to have access to people that are just within your preferences. So instead of attraction being something that you're experiencing in real life, online dating has encouraged people to have more of a checkbox mentality when it comes to connection. And that has changed truly how people date.
Mm-hmm. It totally has. It has changed so much because as we've gone on now where online dating became the norm, it was a menu. And so you've got 80% of the women fighting over 1 or 2% of the men. And everybody else is, you just have to, good luck to you.
Yeah, I mean, if you go into this thing, I get it, looks, everything starts with, in my opinion, starts with physical attraction.
Well, especially for men, we're visual.
Right. And I think to some extent for the ladies too.
Yeah.
But if you have such a rigorous checklist like that, I think you run the risk of missing out on what could actually turn out to be some really rewarding relationships.
And she goes on to talk about, look, if a guy's 5'10" instead of 6 foot, but he checks all the other boxes, and you don't want to give him that chance because you might want to wear heels one day.
Yeah.
And you want to feel like you could be. What do you want him to do? Take you down and handcuff you? Look, I put you in a rear naked chokehold. I could protect you if need be. I don't know. Again, like you said, you're going to miss out on a lot of things. Yes, there's got to be an attraction. Girls have to. They don't want JoJo the dog-faced boy, just like you don't want JoJo the dog-faced girl.
Right.
But
Little JoJo. But
the other side of it is, a girl can look at a guy and go, oh, he's got all kinds of stuff going for us. As far as like he's funny, he's got some stuff, he's driven, he's a good guy, and gravitate towards that. Even more so than looks. Yeah, the looks can be okay. But this is in the olden days. But now that you've got the swipe right and left, that's cheap.
I dated a girl that was 6'2", and I'm 6'1", and I don't think it mattered to her because she's kind of unusually tall.
Yeah.
And if she's going to expect a guy to be taller than her, she's really cutting down the pool.
That's the thing that they were talking about in another episode is a lot of these tall women have real tough time because they just want somebody. They want like what was it, 16 Candles, or whatever, with the donger need food or whatever his name was, where he had that big girlfriend.
Oh yeah,
yeah. Well, because they don't have the same options, right? If they want somebody like you said, 6'2", what does she want? 6'3". That's probably less than 1/10% of the country. So. You know what? I tell you guys this, and one guy, somebody just texted and said, being funny makes you better looking, proven by science. Absolutely. Proven by science. Baked in. But height does stuff, too. Like how many times we talk about the presidential elections? The taller candidate, more often than not, people think that person there is better than the other person. You've got to have a personality to overcome some of those things. All right, coming up. Who knows what we're talking about? A lot of fun stuff. Got some of your text messages coming in. 6'6". Whoa. A lot of people chiming in. How tall are you? What do you look like? Chad Benson's just Super Talk 987. This portion of the Chad Benson Show is powered by NCA, National Certified Alarms. No long-term contracts. License number 645. Some of you are chiming in about the height thing. Somebody said, I'm short. I'm over 50. My requirement is breathing. You can do better than that.
And what did I say?
I'm sure something horrible.
A little demanding, aren't you?
A little bit. You know what? Somebody mentioned about hair. That's another thing. Confidence. Young guys, okay, I guess I can get it. Like Ken, when you said you lost your hair when you were what? 30s? 40s?
No, I've never lost my hair. I've got hair.
Yeah. But did it thin out or anything, or you just didn't care?
No, I just I got tired of having headphone hair, so I just started shaving it.
Yeah, see, that's it. We're same thing with me.
Well, that's why Ken needs headphones like you and I have.
Yeah. But Ken, would you want to grow your hair out if you could have sweet hair?
Maybe. I just find it easier to shave it like I do now.
Let's be real, dude. You look good. Just tell everybody. Tell everybody, Ken, you look good.
Well, thanks.
There you go. Yeah. Tell me you look good. I look good. You look good.
I look good. I look fantastic.
But I guess when you're younger, you know what's weird, too? I shaved my head when I was younger, too. I didn't really care. I mean, I had all kinds of wacky hair. But for a lot of guys, it is still, we were talking about that guy the other day who, he's a pro boxer, and he got a toupee the day before a fight.
Oh, yeah.
Didn't go well, by the way. He won the fight, but not the toupee.
He got hit so hard it came off.
Yeah.
I'd have waited until after the fight.
I would have too, right? But there are a lot of people that worry about that. And, most women, yeah, you'll find some women's like, I don't like guys with that hair. That's fine. But a lot of, you know what it does? Science says guys look more authoritarian as far as like they look tougher. They look like they could take charge kind of thing with no hair. And so it's the way you wear it. But trying to save it, like I had a couple buddies. I'm like, dude, you need to pick, right? You need to either go full Monty, right? And get a rug, or you need, plant the little things in there, or you need to shave it because this isn't working.
Talking about the comb-overs?
Oh, the comb-overs. Oh, I've never got the guys who are completely bald in the center, and they have that little stripe around the side, the friar tuck. I have never got that, ever. What are you doing? Like, what are you doing? And yes, some people, you know this, Ken, the dome matters, right? Because some people, their dome isn't great. But
yeah, I mean, some people's heads, aren't necessarily made for being shaved, if you will.
Yes.
Like some people's heads might be lumpy.
They might be lumpy, but you know what's bad? Bad little hair that's lumpy, and then the stuff on the side and the skullet. Oh, that's scary. Long hair. There's no business happening in the front. The business is closed, and the back looks like a bad white trash party. Just get rid of it and have confidence. That's it. Have some confidence, no matter how tall or short you are. I mean, I was at a party. Okay, you guys want to hear a funny story?
Yeah.
I'm at a party, and it's Orange County, and it's a middle of the day kind of like Saturday party, and Vern Troyer's there. Remember Vern Troyer?
Mini-me.
Mini-me.
Oh, Mini-me. Okay.
Man, he was with the hottest stripper. And my only thought is, really?
Way to go, Vern.
Way to go, Vern. God rest you. R.I.P. He's tiny. He's not with us anymore, is he?
He's a little fella.
He was
he
very
passed
little.
away.
Yeah, so Vern, he went out with a smile, kids. That wasn't a motorboat. That was a Titanic. He hit the iceberg. He's sinking, Vern. Coming up, hour number 3 of the Chad Benson Show. Straight ahead.